Now, I know this sounds like an odd or probably strange topic to bring up, but I just couldn't get it out of my mind. And not gonna lie, I have been contemplating about doing this video for some time now, but I finally got the courage to do it. This is one of those videos that's going to upset probably the biggest fan base ever. And I mean Harry Potter fans. None of that matters because over here at CRM, yeah, can't relate mob. You guys like it? I made it myself. Yeah. But anyway, over here at CRM, we really don't care what people think. We're too busy being originals. Cap. You know, too busy doing stuff like thinking outside the box, paving new pathways, coming out the closet. Well, you know, maybe not the last part. Well, unless you're into that kind of stuff, then, you know, welcome, brother. But I've been rambling too much. Now it's time to get into the real meat and potatoes of the situation. I believe that Harry Potter would have been better if they had sticks. And I'm not talking about the miserable kind they already use. I'm talking about the Demolition Ranch kind, the Saw Baby kind, you know, the ones that come with them real switches on them. No, for real, like, I'm actually being serious. Even with the fact that they live in a world where everyone and their mom can use some form of magic, our polls will still be undefeated. Now look, chill out just a moment. Don't start yelling yet. Please do not try to hit that unsubscribe button, and I know you want to call the police for my slander. But look, just let me at least get 3 points that I can break down so I could at least try to defend myself. Reason number 1, they're not invincible. Okay, I realize that does sound like an obvious one, but look, just hear me out for a second. Wizards in Harry Potter use magic in their day-to-day lives just to do regular stuff, you know, like taking a dump or like fighting, and I don't really know what else. I think that's all. My point is they use magic for just about anything. And I can say this with absolute certainty. There is not one wizard out there that is consistently hitting the gym, hitting any type of treadmill, or doing any type of physical exercise. The most they ever do is run, and they're not even that good at that. Harry has never hit a bench press in his dead parents-filled life. Ron can't do a pull-up to save his own brother George or Fred. Like, I don't know which one died. I just know they look alike. Spoiler alert. Anyways, my point still stands that a lot of them aren't that physically capable. And you see us regular people, we have to train because we don't have the luxury of pulling out magical sticks that could get our ops dealt with in a second. Or do we? So that's my first reason. They just aren't that strong, except that wolf guy. He's pretty scary. Anyways, it's time to move on to the second reason, and that's that they have very little knowledge about muggles. Now, you would think from the outside looking in that all powerful wizards would know everything about every species that's on this earth, race, sex, robot, basically anything breathing. But apparently that isn't the case. They really know next to nothing about us except that we eat and like do regular stuff. And if you guys think that I'm lying, the proof is in the pudding. The facts are out there. And we can look at Mr. Weasley himself. You guys remember how he did this little train scene where he didn't even know how to get in. Even if I'm from a foreign country, I would still understand that I gotta put some form of currency in there so I can enter. This is the same man who doesn't even know how a rubber duck works. And you know, he could have just hopped it if anything like our average New Yorker. And probably the worst one yet, these dumbasses don't even know what dentists are. So they literally have no one to work on their teeth. You guys remember when Slughorn was talking to Hermione at the little conference thing, whatever it was, and she was trying to tell them how her dad feeds their family. And the moment she said that he was a dentist, they all looked at her like she was some type of psychotic freak. You would have thought she was trying to hex everybody in the room the way they were staring at her. Then she tried to break down a funny story to make the mood a little bit lighter so everybody could laugh. And then they just thought she was crazy still. That's how I know these guys are lazy and they just use magic to fix everything. And either way, my point still stands that they know nothing about us. But it's their fault. They're the same people who underfunded the Muggle Studies Department in the Ministry of Magic. And maybe if they didn't do that, they wouldn't have wizards walking around with stage 4 gum disease. But it seems like the only one interested in studying Muggles was Mr. Weasley all along. But then they treated this man like he was crazy for it. Like they don't even put the effort in to learn about us because they think we're futile. They really think we're weak. And not to mention they're a little bit R-wordy against us, to say the least. Like they believe that Muggles and humans shouldn't mate with each other because, I guess, we're dirty or something. I don't know the facts behind it, and I don't know their reasoning, but I know that they're racist. So after all that, do you guys still think Muggles are a hot topic in the wizarding community? Short answer is, hell no. So of course the majority of them aren't gonna know what poles are. And they're not gonna learn because they don't respect us anyway. Which brings us to our final point. Wizards have no respect for Muggles. Now I know you guys think that's pretty obvious because I spoke on, you know, how Jim Crowy they were. But you know, not all of them hate us that bad. Like they all don't want us to be obliterated off the map. In fact, a lot of them wouldn't mind getting into relationships with us. Having said that though, that does not mean that they respect us at all or our way of life. A lot of them still see us lower than them, mainly because we're seen as weaker. Like imagine somebody was worse than you in every way. Ugly, lonely, with no hoes, the whole shebang. But you know you're not an evil person, so you try to help them because you don't want anything bad to happen to them at all. But that still doesn't mean that you don't find them lame. Like, you wouldn't go out of your way to try to make real conversation with them or try to be their real friend. You would just have pity for them. That's basically the relationship between muggles and humans. And since they do have pity for us, they really just try to avoid us entirely. Because in their heads, why would they try to surround themselves with losers? We don't help them try to grow in any type of way. And when they do settle down and try to start a family with them, they think that they're better than them. They think it's a social hierarchy, like they're doing community service. Now that all my points are completed, I just want to go over them again briefly. Mind you, these are flesh-breathing beings, just like you and me. Some people, in fact, would dare to call them humans. But they wouldn't dare call themselves that because to them, that's too low of a standard. But that's what they think. But with the combo of lack of strength, no knowledge about us, and the sheer lack of respect that they have for us, oh yeah, muggles are taking that dub. We would thrax that ass in a fight. We would break down that weak-ass wall that they have in Diagon Alley and then pull up and hit them with some fire that they ain't never seen before. They actually would never see it coming. And they surely couldn't defend against it because they'd never been hit like that before. I'm telling you, that Desert Eagle will for surely put some hair on their chest, or, you know, knock it off, whichever term you prefer. But if getting hit with that stick doesn't do anything to them, I can almost guarantee that a drone strike would, because I know for a fact that Hogwarts has no security, no plan that could stop that Obama special. If you know, you know. It's based on if we know anything about wizards. If the British don't, then I'm pretty sure the Americans do. You guys can't get anything past our government. You really think we don't have wizards on file? With all the attacks and war crimes and atrocities that they probably committed against humanity, you don't think we don't know anything about them? We just don't say anything because we don't want to scare people and cause mass hysteria. Because best believe if the American citizens knew, it would get real Texas in here. I don't think that needs an explanation. But yeah, that's the vid. If muggles got to use sticks, we would win against wizards. But the real question is, who would win between Death Eaters and wizards if they both had to use blocks? Would the heroes using straps have stopped a lot of untimely demises that they had in the series?
Pick your mans up.
And to answer that question, I really don't know. Because we all know Death Eaters are the ultimate body confiscators. These people have no remorse. You guys know how CJ does the Black Air Force roundtable? I think you guys are gonna have to scoot over so the Death Eaters can get a little wiggle room. Because the way that they go about catching bodies is the most unreal thing I've ever seen before. But sadly, that's a video for another day. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed me crapping on your favorite franchises. I know I sure did, and I'll be happy to do it again soon. Well, alright. Bye-bye now.